In breaking news coming in, India have made it 6 out of 6 at the Cricket World Cup. India have literally hit a 6 in the tournament. Going into this game, the men in blue were the only team that were undefeated in the tournament, and that trend continues. Even the defending champions in England could not find a way to get past Rohit Sharma and his men. So 6 games for India in the tournament so far, 6 wins for India. In this game particularly, there were a lot of things to be focusing on. For the very first time in this tournament, India had been batting first. There were question marks whether India would be able to set a winning total. Do they know, or can they follow a template that can ensure that they continue to win games when they're batting first, just as they've been doing while they've been chasing totals? And that was the real test for the Indian team. They batted first. At that point, during the mid-innings, it felt like they may be a bit under par. 229 is what India had got. 230 didn't seem like a mountain for the English team to climb, especially considering that they bat very, very deep. It was a slight edge to England in the mid-innings. But what a lot of us had not taken into account was the fact how good the Indian bowlers have been in this tournament. Throughout this tournament, we've seen teams that have tried to build a partnership, teams that have threatened to get a big total on board. The Indian bowlers have come to the fore and picked up crucial wickets at crucial intervals. This time, it was an outstanding performance from the bowling lineup. They did not give England any chance. The biggest partnership that they may have had would have been the opening partnership, 30-odd runs, what Bairstow and Malan got. It seemed like England, starting in very aggressive fashion, that they could chase that total down, but it wasn't to be. Jasprit Bumrah, as he's done for most parts of his career, with the new ball, giving India some initial breakthroughs, and then as soon as Jasprit Bumrah was done, you see the rest of the Indian bowlers, especially Mohammed Shami, only playing his second game of the tournament, and guess what? In just 2 games, he's got a total of 9 wickets. A total of 9 wickets is what Mohammed Shami has got in just the 2 games that he's played. Once again, Jasprit Bumrah picking up 3 wickets. And then the other wicket taker for India, as we've seen in the tournament so far, Kuldeep Yadav picking up those 2 wickets. So once again, a dominating performance from the Indian team led by the Indian bowlers. And 129 is what England could manage. It's a huge win. It is a huge win for India by a margin of 100 runs. Not a lot of people would have believed that when in the mid-innings, India had just about got 229. Joining us live, our cricket analyst in Robin Uthappa. Robin, like yourself, probably even I was tempted to go with England. Seemed like a below par total. We know the pitch is tricky, but forget the pitch. Just talk about the performance of the Indian bowlers. It wasn't just, a close game. It was a complete one-sided game. No chance at all for England batters in the kind of form that we've seen. Jasprit Bumrah, Mohammed Shami, Kuldeep Yadav.
None whatsoever. As in, they didn't stand a chance at all. And Shami can be more than a handful when he's bowling with a new ball, and the conditions help a little bit. He just needs a little bit of help, and if he's got that, then he will be all over any opposition that he plays. And that's exactly what he did today. As in, you could see Stokes, he was all but at bay through the course of those 10 balls that he was there. And, he just made everyone look a little silly, to be honest. And he does that. He's got that ability. And he can do that when the ball's doing a little bit for him. Because of his seam position, he becomes such a dangerous bowler. And I've always maintained this. It does not matter how many games he's played. He will always be a top-class bowler who will always be successful if the conditions help a little bit as far as seaming is concerned. And, if the conditions are slightly helpful, Shami will always be more than a handful to deal with, and we've seen that yet again today. I think he just makes a strong case to be the top 2 fast bowlers in this side when Hardik comes back.
Well, you know, Robin, I don't think I would have ever said this. I would have never imagined saying this, that actually Hardik Pandya's injury, in a sense, could prove to be a blessing in disguise. I know that you're missing him. I know that the Indian team misses the balance that he brings. But had it not been for that injury, we probably wouldn't have seen Mohammed Shami play at all in this World Cup. In that sense, now the kind of form that Mohammed Shami is showing would be very, very difficult to drop him going forward.
Well, I certainly believe it. At some point he was going to play because you know, in a tournament like this, when it's so long, you don't want to play all your fast bowlers, or you don't want to play your fast bowlers all the time. You want to rotate them. And when you have high quality fast bowlers like we do, you know that you know, Shami will not start because he's also 35, 36. You got to look after a bowler of his caliber as well. And if you want to extend his career and bring more laurels to the country, you want to extend and use him wisely. And credit to Rahul Dravid and his team and Rohit Sharma for being able to use Shami the way they have, and credit to Shami as well for you know, being so accommodating and saying that, you know, use me as and when you want to use me, and I'll stack up performances. And I think that camaraderie within the group has been fantastic. Communication within the group has been fantastic, and you got to give credit to both the captain, the coach, the support staff, and the player. It's himself, you know, because you know, they're all on the same page, and you can see that. And, you know, like I said, I knew he was going to play at some point in time. And whenever he did play, he was going to take wickets. And I'm not surprised about his performance. I'm very happy for him.
Tell us a bit more about Mohammed Shami. Robin, one thing you pointed out, which was that, you know, his seam position is such that every time he lands it on the seam, you know he's going to be dangerous. And that's one of the primary reasons why he picks up so many wickets. But just tell us a bit more about his pace. Doesn't always, when you're seeing it on television, doesn't always seem like the quickest bowler that is going around. But tell us, you may have faced him in the nets or maybe in the IPL. Can you tell us, is he quicker sometime? You know, we often hear batters talk about this one bowls a hard ball. Is he one of those bowlers much quicker than the speed gun suggests?
What one's got to love about Mohammed Shami is that he's maintained his fitness really, really well. Right, and I'm saying fitness simply because he's bowling the same pace he was bowling 5-7 years ago. His pace hasn't come down. He's not the quickest in the shed, but at the same time, he's not the slowest either. He's a good 140, 144 between that range. And when you get the ball to seam around at that pace, you can be very, very dangerous. And what you got to love about Shami is the fact that he understands his bowling so well. And he sticks within his lines. You know, he knows his extent of bowling and what works for him, and he stays within those lines. He doesn't go out of it. He's not perturbed by anything that happens. If he doesn't get wickets, if he gets wickets, he still bowls the same way. So it's not rocket science what he's doing. He comes there, he hits. He knows that his biggest strength is the seam position, and he knows what he needs to do as far as tweaking those positions are concerned to get the ball to go in and go away. And he hits the back of the length in a very, very disciplined manner. He's a lot like Virat Kohli, honestly. You know, when it comes to managing his skills are concerned, doing and repetition of what works is concerned, they're very alike in that sense. They're like for like almost. You know, Virat knows what he needs to do as far as batting is concerned. Through, you know, for example, through chasing, when he's chasing down the scores, he knows exactly how to go about chasing. He knows how to play the boring part of the one-day innings. Similarly with Shami, he knows how to bowl in a one-day game with the new ball, with the semi-new ball, or with the old ball. He knows the areas to bowl. He knows what his strengths are. And he's got a very sharp bouncer that he uses brilliantly. So that's what makes Shami the great bowler that he is. And I think looking at his fitness right now, he looks good to go for me for another 3-4 years for sure.
Okay, Robin, I must say those are fantastic analysis when you're talking about it. I was wondering where you're going when you're comparing Shami to Virat Kohli, but then when you explain in detail what is it that actually is that common thread that runs between Virat Kohli and Mohammed Shami, you get an idea why is it that Mohammed Shami is so successful. You know, it's doing those things again and again and trying to work on those skills day after day and trying to get better at what you do. That's something that we see with Virat Kohli, and Robin there very nicely puts it through how Mohammed Shami is one of those guys who tries to get those small little things, those details right by practicing day in and day out. You know, the joke right now on social media is that, you know, folks are not surprised with such a performance from Mohammed Shami. After all, the game was played in Lucknow, and what's Lucknow famous for? Shami kebabs. So Mohammed Shami doing well is not not surprising at all for the fans. But talk about another place that serves up some very sumptuous Shami kebab. That is Kolkata. So I'll take you live directly to Kolkata. I know the folks there absolutely love their cricket. Anirban, our correspondent, joins us from there. Anirban, I'm sure usually the fans in Kolkata absolutely love, enjoy Indian cricket. But today, this win must be special because it's a local boy. I know Shami comes from Amroha, but has played all his cricket for Bengal. So must be a special occasion for the fans there in Kolkata to celebrate.
Absolutely, Nikhil, absolutely. That Shami is just done a wonderful thing, and it's really a vibrant win for Team India. And it's like checking all the boxes, ticking all the boxes. Indian team has done this, and you can see the people here are like going mad, going crazy for Mohammed Shami and all the team man. आज एक बात पूछना चाहूंगा, शमी बंगाल से खेलता था और उसके बाद शमी की ये परफॉर्मेंस, इंडियन टीम की ये परफॉर्मेंस, अब तो लग रहा है कि भारत विश्व कप लेगा।
एकदम 100% मैं बताता हूं कि वर्ल्ड कप इंडिया ही लेगा, क्योंकि इतने अच्छे अच्छे प्लेयर हैं और इसका वर्णन नहीं किया सकता। पूरे वर्ल्ड में अभी नंबर 1 पे हम लोग हैं।
भारत माता की!
भारत ने अभी सभी मैच जीतकर अंक ताली में अभी सेमीफाइनल में अपनी स्थान लगभग पक्का कर ली है। इससे पहले चेस करती थी और आज गेंदबाजी में भी अव्वल दर्जे की टीम बनकर उभरी है। भारत माता की!
अब रोहित शर्मा के बारे में क्या बोलना?
रोहित शर्मा इस बार का वर्ल्ड कप में सबसे बेहतरीन कप्तानी कर रहे हैं। जैसा उसका अटैकिंग सिस्टम है वो कोई नहीं कर सकता। MS धोनी का जैसे कैप्टनसी था, रोहित शर्मा उसी तरह का कैप्टनसी कर रहे हैं। हम इस बार पूरा विश्वास है कि वो वर्ल्ड कप जीत रहा है और हमसे कोई नहीं छीन सकता। इंडिया जिंदाबाद!
It's like ticking all the boxes because it's an all-round performance. We can see that Shami is performing well. The reserve bench is performing well. Surya Kumar Yadav is performing well. All the team members, all the Indian players are doing very, very well. And absolutely, it's an amazing win with England because it's a record. Very long days after the India win against England. And right now, you can see the people are going crazy because India is going to play semi-final, and all are crossing their fingers that India could live this time the World Cup, and India is going to play their next match in Kolkata also, India versus South Africa, and that is also the very vital match, and hope India could win. And these people, the crazy fans of the sports crazy city, will celebrate like this, Nikhil. It's a wonderful thing. Nikhil,
okay, thank you so much for that, Anirban, joining us live from Kolkata. Love the energy of the folks there, completely enjoying India's campaign so far and thoroughly enjoyed tonight's performance. We'll bring you the highlights as well of how the Indian bowlers really came to the fore, helped India win this game by a huge margin of 100 runs. But I'm going back to Robin, who's still live with us. Robin, we've spoken about Mohammed Shami, but what's it about Jasprit Bumrah? You know, no matter the pitch, no matter the condition, no matter what sort of a total India is defending, like in today's case, it was a below par total as we had discussed. But when the ball is in Jasprit Bumrah's hand, you know that opening spell is going to get you a wicket and two. And that's exactly what happened today.
Yeah, I think he's just built that reputation, hasn't he? It's a very intimidating reputation that he's got right now in world cricket. And every time he gets that new ball in his hands, you know he's going to be very dangerous. And the batters are already thinking, oh, I got to just see this guy off right now. I can't go, I can't attack him. I got to see off the new ball against him. And when a batter's playing in that mindset, that means you're already behind the 8th ball. That means already advantage Jasprit Bumrah right there. So he just has to hit the right areas because the seed of doubt is already in the batter's mind. So he's already at an advantage, and he's built that reputation through hard work and determination and performances. So for me, you know, when he's bowling on a new ball, which is why I said if the team gets off to a good start against Bumrah and Shami, then they could chase this down. If they don't get off to a good start and they're 2 or 3 wickets down, then it could be advantage India for sure. And that's exactly what happened. Bumrah just got those 2 wickets back to back. When you get back to back wickets with a team that doesn't have any wind against its sails, it just like comes crashing down. Yeah, and that's exactly what happened to England again today. They have just seen seemed all but at bay throughout the course of this World Cup, and they have to go back to the drawing board to figure out how they're going to move forward with the kind of caliber of players that they actually have right now.
Okay, Robin, just a word on Rohit Sharma, the captain, and the way that he's been using his bowlers. Today, again, we saw that there was a bit of a partnership developing there in the middle, and then he brings on Shami, who gets you the crucial wicket of Moeen Ali. We saw that in the games previous to this as well. I remember the Pakistan game, that partnership developing. He brings the right bowler in. How have you viewed Rohit Sharma during this World Cup? Like we see him in the IPL as well, he's been right on the ball?
Yeah. He's been clinical. For me, he's been absolutely clinical. I think just the way he's managed the bowlers, even Shami's first spell, despite getting 2 wickets, I'm sorry, despite getting 2 wickets, he actually stopped him after 3 overs, and then a partnership began to develop, and then he brought him back on. And then the minute he brought him back on, first ball back on, gets a wicket. Just the way he utilized the bowlers, the way he utilized Jadeja, the way he utilized Kuldeep, just fantastic. And it's been great to watch this Indian team go out there and perform the way they have been performing. It's actually very heartwarming, to be honest.
That's how India won that particular game versus England. Let's quickly take a look at the scorecard and show you who the star performers were for the Indian team. Of course, with the ball, you had Mohammed Shami pick up the maximum amount of wickets. He picked up 4 wickets. We'll have the scorecard up on your screens very, very shortly. So 4 wickets there for Mohammed Shami. You also had 3 wickets for Jasprit Bumrah. In terms of India's batting, you had Rohit Sharma, the top scorer, with 87, and then Suryakumar Yadav chipping in with 49, and that is what propelled India to 229. And then it was outstanding bowling performance led by Mohammed Shami. Jasprit Bumrah, the one that I did not mention, is also Kuldeep Yadav with some good bowling there, picking up 2 wickets. And in the end, England all out for just 129 runs. Okay, let's take you live now to the Ekana Stadium in Lucknow. Our correspondent Santosh Sharma joins us live from there. Over to you, Santosh. I'm guessing the fans there, they had a treat tonight watching that game in their hometown, where it was a dominant performance from the Indian team.
Definitely, it's a very big performance by the Indian cricket team, and the fans, those who came from not from the Lucknow, from the other cities, they are with me. कहाँ से आए सर और कैसा रहा मैच आज का? मजा आया कि नहीं?
मेरा नाम डॉक्टर राकेश सूद है, मैं दिल्ली से आया हूँ।
अच्छा, दिल्ली से मैच देखने आए?
सिर्फ मैच देखने आए थे, कल रात शाम को पहुँचे और कल
मजा आया कि नहीं मैच में? क्या रहा?
मजा आ गया मैच में, पूरा पैसा वसूल हो गया, 1 रुपए का खर्चा नहीं हुआ, मजा आ गया।
कहाँ से आप लोग? दिल्ली से कि नहीं आया?
बिल्कुल बिल्कुल पैसा वसूल हो गया एकदम, पैसा वसूल।
बहुत गोंडा से, यूपी गोंडा से बहुत मजा, अरे बहुत मजा आ गया। इंडिया का ये ऐसे कायम रहेगा फाइनल तक, फाइनल जीत के।
अच्छा, आप कहाँ से आए?
मैं पंजाब से आया हूँ, बंगा से,
दिल्ली पंजाब सभी
बंगा से आया हूँ, मैनेजर हूँ होटल में अपना काम।
मजा आया कि नहीं आज? बैट्समैन ने तो, लेकिन बॉलर्स ने आज मजा किया।
पूरा मजा आया सर, पूरा मजा आया। बगराज सर को बहुत बहुत कंग्रेचुलेशन।
एक चीज
बहुत बड़ा कप्तान बनेगा।
एक चीज मैं बोलना चाहता हूँ, अब इंडिया को लॉ ऑफ एवरेजेस से डरना चाहिए। सिर्फ एक मैच इनको हारना चाहिए, तब हम जीतेंगे वर्ल्ड कप। अब साउथ अफ्रीका से हार जाए, फिर कोई रोक नहीं सकता हमारे को। हम वर्ल्ड कप,
ये हार की कामना कर रहे हैं आप?
हार के नहीं कामना कर रहे, हार के नहीं, बट साइंस है, इकोनॉमिक्स है, लॉ ऑफ एवरेज होता है, वो आएगा।
इंडिया की जीतने की कामना की जा रही है सर, सही बोल रहे हैं। अगर एक मैच हार जाएंगे हम, तो कॉन्फिडेंस लेवल ऊपर जाएगा हमारा। इंडिया मजा आ गया अंकल जी, मजा आ गया
सर। 2019 का बदला लेगा इंडिया और बहुत अच्छे तरीके से इंडिया वर्ल्ड कप जीतेगा।
चैंपियंस की तरह जीतेगा इंडिया।
Okay, Santosh.
पूरी चैंपियन इंडिया, रोहित शर्मा, भारत 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 भारत।
All these are the fans of the Indian cricket team, those who came from other cities, from Punjab and Delhi, and they are very much surprised, and they are hoping that India will win the World Cup this time.
Okay, Santosh, thank you so much for those updates. We'll stay on in Lucknow. I'll take you now to our correspondent Rahul Rawat, who's got a different set of supporters right outside the Ekana Stadium. Over to you, Rahul. It must be a outstanding feeling for these fans who were lucky enough to have been there and witnessing such a dominant performance from the Indian players.
Well, Nikhil, if I could I couldn't hear you properly. There's loud noise right next to me, and there are people of everybody in blue, almost everybody in blue. And
this is the noise of happiness. This is the noise of happiness.
अच्छा आप लोगों का मैच खत्म हो गया. मोहम्मद शमी की 4 विकेटें, रोहित शर्मा के 87 रन, 87 रन. मैन ऑफ द मैच आप लोगों की नजर में कौन है?
मोहम्मद शमी. रोहित शर्मा. टीम इंडिया की शान निराली, भारत में मन रही आज दिवाली. टीम इंडिया की शान निराली, भारत में मन रही आज दिवाली. सेमीफाइनल का हमको टिकट मिला है. सेमीफाइनल का हमको टिकट मिला है. बोलो भारत माता की वंदे.
आपका गला गया है, आपका गला जा चुका है.
मैन ऑफ द मैच टू बोथ ऑफ दीज प्लेयर्स. ऐसा हो नहीं
मैच. अच्छा आप में से अच्छा मुझे सच बताना मिड इनिंग्स में जब इंडिया ने 229 रन 229 लगाए थे, किसको लगा था कि इंडिया जीत सकता है?
हमको पूरी उसका कारण बताते हैं हम.
सर आप तो देश के सबसे पॉजिटिव.
उसका कारण पता क्या है? हमने बनाए थे 230 रन. पाकिस्तान और ऑस्ट्रेलिया जैसी टीम भी हमारे आगे 200 रन नहीं बना पाई. फिर इंग्लैंड वाले क्या औकाते हुए 200 रन बनाते हैं. 29 रन
पूरी उम्मीद थी. हम आए थे नैनीताल से, जैसे ही हमारे को मैसेज आने लग गए 229 रन पे की, तो मुझे आते ही पनौती बन गए, आउट करा दिया सबको. हमने कहा अभी जीतेगी इंडिया, तुम देखते जाओ बस.
अच्छा you were there in the
India will go. I was there in the stadium. Throughout the match, my fingers were this. And जो मैच एंड में जब जीते हैं, जो फायरवर्क्स हुए, जो गूजबम्स मोमेंट था, वो देख के लगा कि भाई पैसा वसूल, एमपी से आना वसूल हो गया.
अच्छा मुंबई की टिकट किसने कराई है? सेमीफाइनल की बात कर रहा हूँ मैं.
अगर आपके पास है तो हमको दे दो.
हम तो फाइनल की टिकट की बात कर रहे हैं.
उधर देख रहे हैं.
फाइनल में
कोई हरा नहीं पाएगी. टीम इंडिया को कोई हरा नहीं पाएगी. और हिटमैन की सेना वर्ल्ड कप भारत में लाएगी.
Nikhil, there are people here who actually want to ask questions to you, not the other way around. Yes.
So Nikhil sir, my question to you is, have you thought of Rohit Sharma's century today?
So basically he's saying, on a difficult wicket where virtually every batsman struggled, the second best score of this entire match was 49, Nikhil. So the gentleman next to me is asking you, how do you rate 87 runs that Rohit Sharma scored, perhaps one of the best ODI knocks from Rohit? Nikhil.
Well, thank you so much for that question, Rahul, and thank you so much for joining us live from Lucknow, bringing us those live visuals. Well, what can I say? For me, this is even bigger than 100. For me, if you ask, this has been his best innings of the tournament so far. I know he got that 100 versus Afghanistan. I know he set that tempo in that game versus Pakistan. I know once again he set that tempo in that game versus New Zealand. But for me, in the conditions that they were and with the wickets falling at the other end, clearly the best knock that Rohit Sharma has played. Next up is Mumbai, his home ground. So I only fear for the Sri Lankan bowlers in the form that Rohit is at the moment, and the kind of template that he's been setting batting. First, you got to fear for the Sri Lankan bowlers. It's going to be a batting paradise, I hope, in Wankhede, as you always get. And then you can see a lot more fireworks from the bat of Rohit Sharma. Robin Uthappa still with us. Robin, 2 questions I'm going to throw at you, listening to those Indian fans. One of them said about law of averages, and I remember you saying you're also a believer in law of averages. He says that let India lose a game or 2 now going forward, because semis is almost done. We don't want them to lose the semis. But looking at this Indian juggernaut, do you even see them losing that one game?
Well, no, I don't. To answer that question directly, I certainly don't. Having said that, I truly believe in the law of averages. Having played cricket for a little while, you know that you want to have that balance moving forward, because it just works that way, man. So I just hope that, by the time we get to the semis, there is an error in judgment, and we go into the semi-finals with having one loss against the Onion.
Okay, law of averages is what Robin Uthappa believes in. We don't know whether that loss comes or not, but at the moment the Indian team is looking invincible with the kind of cricket that they're playing. The other point that was raised by the viewers there, Robin, was in terms of man of the match. Split 50-50. Many going Mohammed Shami's way, the others saying no, Rohit Sharma with 87. Who's your player of the match?
Mohammed Shami. No two ways about it. For me, if he bowled his entire spell, he would have gotten 5. If he was bowled more often, he would have gotten 5. And a 5 is as good as a 100 for me. And Rohit got 87, should have got 125. He would have said that himself. And so for me, Mohammed Shami.
Okay, and Rohit Sharma was in fine form, but as Robin is pointing out, that Mohammed Shami today, with those 4 wickets, completely changing the complexion of the game. The one bowler that I did not speak to you about, Robin, Kuldeep Yadav, just as you know, Jasprit Bumrah is making a habit of it. What I'm reminded of, 2019 World Cup, last time around, England hammered him across the park in that World Cup. And that's where you saw that Kuldeep Yadav's form began to dip. So is it life then coming up a full circle? Same opposition at the highest level of tournament, the World Cup, and Kuldeep Yadav comes up with that performance. Has it completely changed from the Kuldeep Yadav 2019 versus England and the Kuldeep Yadav that we saw today?
Oh, absolutely. And I think I've been quite vocal about this. I think he's the most improved Indian cricketer over the last 3 or 4 years. And I love who Kuldeep is today as a bowler. You can see that he means business. He's worked out his bowling. He's put in a lot of effort. He's an improved batter, improved fielder. He used to be a little slow when he first came into the side, but a lot quicker through the field right now, gets rid of the ball quickly. And you can see he's just oozing with confidence. And it just reminds me of when he comes into bowl, he reminds me of the same energy that Shane Warne came into bowl every time he bowled. He's always looking at wickets, always trying to get wickets. And it's actually unassuming, to be honest. You don't expect someone like Kuldeep, just the way he's built and just the way he is. As a person, you don't expect him to be that intimidating, but he can be intimidating. At least the energy that he carries while he comes out to bowl is he means business, and he's like, I'm going to get you out. I'm going to figure out a way to get you out. And that's why his analysis readers, they do over the last 12 months. They're just kind of figuring him out. They don't read him well. He uses scramble seam beautifully. He uses his variations excellently. And I think just the height he bowls, the trajectory that he's bowling right now is exquisite, which is what makes him such a dangerous bowler in world cricket today.